Did I know that ultimately my husband can have the choice to retire at retirement age or earlier? No. And that to me is the beauty part of it. We don't know what
Yeah.
we don't know. And the things that we struggle with in our life, we're struggling because we don't know. So you can learn a better way to manage your money. You can learn healthy habits.
Absolutely.
And changing your mindset is the first way to get there.
And it really is important. And I don't want to beat this dead horse, and I don't want to make money, some kind of false idol here. But number one cause of divorce in America today, financial issues. Number one cause of suicide, ages 18 to 35, financial issues. This clearly is a problem, right? And this
Number
is
one cause of stress.
cause of stress, absolutely, yeah. And stress obviously has ripple effects into everything that we do, right?
Everything, man.
So if you could
stressed
change,
at 2 a.m. last night.
I was, and maybe it was related to money. I don't think it was, but who knows? I don't. Every now and then, I just don't get a good night's sleep. But I think honestly, there was a force trying to get me not to do this today for whatever reason, and. But I'm not going to let that force take over, right? I make my decisions. And
I'm glad you showed up.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's a lot of fun. And obviously, this is something we wanted to do and we look forward to. So absolutely. But yes, so if you were going to pick, what better thing, I'll say it this way, what better thing to focus on than the number one cause of suicide, stress, and divorce, right? If you could eliminate those three things by focusing on one thing, or even just reduce the overall impact, it just seems like a no-brainer to me. And so, that is where my passion lies. I want to help people change. I want to help individuals change. But really another reason for the podcast, we talked about this in the intro piece, is that we can only talk to so many people. Christine, you can only see so many individuals or couples a year. Same with myself. And so if we can broadcast this message further, maybe it'll have a bigger impact. And we see money not as an obstacle and not as a stressor, but as a vehicle, as a tool. And if we can use it correctly, then we can exploit the full value of that tool.
Right. And we also don't see it as happiness.
Correct.
We don't see it as we will be happy if when.
No.
Not at all. We're content with the lives that we lead, and money is our vehicle.
And there's that word contentment again. I don't think we've used it in this episode, but contentment is going to be a recurring theme here. If you are constantly seeking things you don't have, where the mind focuses, the feet follow. If we're constantly focused on things we don't have, we will constantly find ourselves in positions we don't want to be in. Right. So this idea of contentment, it's important, and figuring out how to do it. Last time we talked about journaling. That's a great activity to kind of identify your values and understand how you feel about where you are in life and what is truly important and what is going to bring you. You said the word happiness, and happiness correlates very well to being content, right? And so where does happiness live? And that answer is going to be different for everybody, but it's never going to live in the money by itself. Money does not and never will buy happiness.
Never. So what I really want to do at this point in our conversation and in our show is give our viewers some hope and leave them with a quote, because we can tell you everything that we know to be true about getting better with your finances and your habits and your mindset, but you really have to do it on your own. So here's a quote by Theodore Roosevelt: "Believe you can, and you're halfway there."
Love that.
That's the first step. That is really the first step.
So Christine, you said that if I asked you 10 years ago, would you be on this financial journey? Would you be paying your house off early? The answer to that question, you didn't think that you would be. But let me change the question. Did you believe that you could?
Yes, I've always believed in myself. And I think it goes back to, I've always had a strong work ethic. I believe I can, so I will. I step outside of my comfort zone. Do I think negative thoughts? Do I judge myself, criticize, critique myself? Absolutely. Have I held myself back from fear? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I like to think I have more courage and more bravery and more belief in myself that, overall squashes the rest of that down.
Yep. So there you go. I mean, proof is in the pudding. So you believed that all these things were possible, and things that you believe are possible haven't come true yet, but some of them have. and even
Right.
sooner than you would have expected. So I think there's something here. Believe you
And it
can,
makes me,
and you're halfway there. I like it.
yes. And it makes me excited for like, what else? What's next? What's a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What does that look like?
And not just for our own lives, but I mean, think about all the people that are going to challenge themselves today after watching this, and they're going to say,
Right.
ooh, maybe I can, right? And that little shift just set in motion action steps that they didn't even know they were going to take.
Yeah, yeah. So let's give them an action step. We want
Yeah.
to really help you to get to those next steps. So create a daily mantra that inspires you to believe in yourself. If you're not familiar with mantra, create a daily saying, something that you can repeat to yourself over and over that's positive, that really aligns your thinking with your values and what you want to achieve. So this mantra that I'm going to read to you does have a focus on finances, but pick a mantra that suits you. I have the power to create the success and build the wealth I deserve. You are deserving. I don't even know you out there who's listening to us, but I believe in you. I know you can do it if you put your mind to it. And I know you're going to fail along the way. You're going to
Mhm.
stumble. The path is not going to be straight, but you can do it. You can push yourself outside your comfort zone. You can ultimately live the life that you want to live. The choice is yours.
You guys are going to hear us talk about failure a lot because it is a key component to success. Nobody succeeds without failing first, and not just failing once, but failing over and over and over again. And that ultimately is really how we win, right? We got to fail our way forward, and we've got to fail fast. We've got to learn, we've got to adjust, and we have to just keep going.